Welcome to episode 12 of Stan Now Considers All Things. What it means to be a well-educated person. Well-educated is not the same thing as having gone to college. It could be. A well-educated student at a good college. In my fantasy, at 9 o'clock, their English class, and they study Cicero's orations, and they compare Cicero's orations to the exhortations of Thomas Paine. Then at 10 o'clock, the student goes to their American history class, and there they might compare the exhortations of Thomas Paine with, say, Franklin's role in the American Revolution. And at 11 o'clock, a physics class, and they might study Franklin's crude experiments with electricity and lightning and compare them, say, with the experiments that Edison did. At noon in my hypothetical campus, tennis, something outdoor in the sunshine. And then after that, lunch in a cafeteria setting which is ungrease-laden. In this ideal university, those late-night discussions that are held in the dorm about meaningful topics, the burning issues of life are thrashed out there. Connections are made, and understanding is found. How many campuses, how many universities in this country today does that kind of understanding, that central connection with the fruits of Western civilization, on how many campuses are those things found? These institutions of higher tuition, as it's been called, are greatly overrated when it comes to your seeking to be well educated. Sure, if you want to become a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, an engineer, and you want to get your state license for your quasi-monopoly, then you may have to go to these universities or these colleges. But being well educated is a different story. Being well educated where you seek to gain understanding, to see the connections between Cicero and Paine, between Paine and Franklin, between Franklin and Edison. What American university today has that kind of unified vision of being well educated, where students are presented with the physical, the spiritual, the central core, the heart of what it means to be an heir of Western civilization? There are very few such universities. Very few. There are some. In Simon O'Toole's book, Confessions of an American Scholar, he writes about a vice-chancellor of one of the big universities, in fact, one of the Big Ten universities, talking about what are the university's responsibilities in our society today. And he lists 5 things. First, for the economic development of the society is a purpose for the university. Second, for service to the state. Third, for the creation of new knowledge as the professors go rummaging around in their little tiny fields. Fourth, for the training of graduate students to become future researchers in their little tiny fields. And last, dead last in the list, is teaching. And that kind of attitude, expressed at one of the Big Ten universities and echoed all around this country, shows how many of our graduate students, proud possessors of their bachelor's degree, can competently read, say, even a freshman English term paper and help with the English grammatical errors in it? Not many. How many of our graduate students can explain the function of an artist in our society? How many of those graduate students, after 4 years or more of wandering through the wasteland of academia, can name even 2 great mathematicians who have ever lived? Don't say Einstein, he was a physicist more than a mathematician. You may, when push comes to shove, have to take care of your own education if you want to be well educated. You may have to become an autodidact. Philosophy, at the heart of what it means to be a well-educated person. We've looked in the past at metaphysics, we've looked at epistemology, and now the third major part of philosophy, ethics. More than business ethics. Ethics, values, what you personally value. You know, most people would like everything. They'd like money, they'd like to be loved, they'd like health, they'd like doing good for other people, they'd like being well liked, they would like to be truthful. The only problem is when you list all those values, you can't have them all. If you tell the truth, then you may not be the most liked person around. Those 2 values conflict. You want to stay in bed in the morning till 10, you may not be the richest person around. You have to order your values. You can't act without ordering them. Either consciously with your mind, you will choose what you want for your life, or you'll just take that fogged out, 0 on the meter kind of approach and wander around by whim. Much of art today feels like it was the latter, that wandering around, 0 on the meter whim. In painting, let's just splash something. I don't have the meaning from the inside of my heart. Or in movies, Natural Born Killers is a movie I saw recently. Oh, you know, by whim, oh, I'll kill this guy. No, I don't feel like killing this guy right now. I'll kill that guy. You know? Art reflects the culture of the society it's in. And so much of the values today are this kind of like a butterfly flittering, flit, 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 flit. Hey, I think it was in this country, when it comes to eating, we invented the major flit, flit, flit concept of eating. It's called the snack. It was first here in this country. How do you order your values? And it's how you order yours is going to be different than how I order mine. And how we order our values will be different than the fellow down the street. But how do you figure for yourself and me for myself what's higher and what's highest on our list of values? Shall it be money? Shall it be health? Shall it be fame? Shall it be loving my aunt? Shall it be playing with my children? Shall it be exploring new adventures? Do I want a varied, multi-partner, sex extravaganza type of life? Or do I want to stay true to the wedding promises I made? 2 different values. One of the 2 has to be higher. Do I want to be 100% honest in what I say, or 99% honest and make a couple grand in the deal by not telling about that thing that was wrong with, the thing I was selling? My values, I have to choose. I can't do both. Do I want to hold a grudge and enjoy the sick resentment, that pleasure of hating that person and being self-righteous? Or do I want to let it go and find pleasures elsewhere? Another set of values I have to choose among. How you order your values is the essence of your ethics. And this ordering of your values involves work. Oh, blazing, terrible work. Hard work. I know you want to switch your channel and watch football or something. Oh, wait a minute. Come back. Come back. We've got to talk about something important. Ordering your values. How to do that is done, I believe, by examining your life goals. If you have those life goals conscious in your skull, then your values, your system of ethics, will automatically formulate and order itself. For example, suppose your goal is me, a pleasure-filled life and avoiding the hassle. That's my life goal. Suppose that's my life goal. Then your values automatically order themselves. If you have me, a pleasure-filled life, and avoiding the hassle as your goals, you're going to have an easy job, a routine job you can quit at 5 or whenever and go home, or maybe no job at all. But you certainly won't have as your values to become an entrepreneur and open up your own business and the hassles that are involved there. If your life goal is me, a pleasure-filled life, and no hassle, then you come home, you flip on the boob tube, that flickering blue warm bath for the mind. You don't have children if you want a hassle-free life. Suppose your number one goal instead is adventure. I want adventure. Then, skydiving. Sure. Climb those dangerous mountains, not just the easy ones. Or if you want adventure as your number one goal, make love to the wife of Saddam Hussein. Oh, you will have adventure. My goal. What do I want? Stan. Each is individual. What I choose is going to be different than what you choose, and I want to share with you my life goal. I have seen the ghost of a glimmer, of a shadow of reality. And that ghost of a glimmer of a shadow of reality to me is dazzling. As best as I can express it, I am beloved of God. In Christ, I am treasured. From servant to friend to part of the family. My goal is to walk in that vision as a son, happy, grateful, loving, and diligent, and amazed.
And now, before our final segment on political science, a quote from Alan Bloom. As it now stands, students have a powerful images of what a perfect body is and pursue it incessantly. Of course, in the background here, we have that perfect image. But deprived of literary guidance, they no longer have any image of a perfect soul, and hence do not long to have one. They do not even imagine that there is such a thing.
Government is supposed to be neutral when it comes toward the press. It should neither censor it, nor should it subsidize it. Government should be neutral when it comes to religion. It should neither subsidize it, nor suppress it. Well, what about the arts? You know, poets and dancers and singers and painters. Should the government be in the business of defining who is an artist and who isn't? If it is, I'm an artist. See, I'm on TV. Yay! Should the government select among those dancers and singers and television personalities and support some and not others, like supporting me? The NEA, the National Endowment for the Arts, government, an arm of the federal government, it gave $1,000, and guess where it got that $1,000 from? I'm pointing to the person it got it from. It gave $1,000 to the poet Adam Saroyan so that he could write his one-word poem. And the word that came out of his mouth or out of his pen or word processor wasn't even an English word. And in case you're wondering what you got for your $1,000 you gave, you were taken from you by the federal government. The poem is the word spelled L-I-G-H-G-H-T. Light with an extra G-H in it. But they gave $25,000 to Thunder's Mouth Press so that they could publish a book on child molestation. Sounds good until you hear that it's by a pedophile. Read sometime the law of the land, our Constitution, especially the humor that is in Article 1, Section 8, where it enumerates those powers that the Congress has. We've had a couple additions in the amendments that follow it. But that list is short and defined. And Congress, by the Constitution, has no power to censor or to subsidize poets and dancers and singers. The NEA is unconstitutional. And all of those congressmen who have raised their right hand and have solemnly sworn that they will uphold and defend the Constitution of this country, and who have voted the money that has been taken from you with powers not enumerated in this Constitution, I wonder how they sleep at night.